Have you ever felt like something was missing in your life, only to realize that the answer was right in front of you all along? This is the story of how one man's unexpected moment of clarity changed everything. Sometimes, we spend our lives chasing after things we think are missing: a bigger house, a higher paycheck, a new relationship, or just that one solution that will finally make us whole. We run, we struggle, and we tell ourselves, if only I could have this or that, I'd finally feel at peace. But have you ever paused and wondered, what if nothing is missing? What if the sense of lack is just an illusion, one that keeps us searching outside, while the answer quietly waits within? Let's start with an image. Picture a man living in a tall, glass apartment in New York City. Every day, he wakes up to the hum of elevators and the glow of city lights. He works hard, provides for his family, attends important meetings, and feels the constant pressure to do more. But deep inside, there's an ache. Maybe you know this feeling, a subtle emptiness, like you're missing something essential, but you can't quite name it. This man, let's call him Michael, has everything society tells him he should want. A successful career, a loving family, and a view of the city that most people only dream of. Yet, as he rushes from meeting to meeting, barely tasting the gourmet lunches he eats, he can't shake the feeling that something crucial is slipping through his fingers. He tries to fill the void. He works longer hours, hoping that the next promotion will finally bring satisfaction. He buys expensive gadgets, thinking that the latest technology will make him feel more connected. He even considers moving to an even bigger apartment, convinced that more space will somehow expand his sense of fulfillment. But the emptiness persists, a constant companion in the background of his busy life. It's there in the quiet moments before he falls asleep, in the brief pauses between emails, in the reflection he barely recognizes in his office window. Michael begins to wonder if this is just what life is, a constant chase for something always just out of reach. And then, one ordinary evening, the lights in his building suddenly go out. The screens go dark. The constant buzz fades into silence. For the first time in years, he looks out his window and notices the sun setting, golden, alive, impossibly beautiful. He stands there, almost stunned, realizing that he's been searching everywhere for meaning, all while forgetting how to see what's right in front of him. In that moment of unexpected stillness, Michael feels something shift inside him. The city he thought he knew so well suddenly looks different. Without the artificial glow of screens and streetlights, he sees stars peeking through the urban sky. He hears the faint laughter of children playing in a nearby park, a sound usually drowned out by the city's constant noise. Is it possible that nothing is missing, except our ability to really see? Let's explore this together. As Michael stands at his window, drinking in the sunset, he realizes that he's been so focused on what he thought he lacked that he'd become blind to the abundance surrounding him. The love in his children's eyes when he comes home, the warmth of his partner's hand in his. The satisfaction of a job well done, these weren't just small moments in between the important stuff. They were the important stuff. He thinks about all the times he rushed through meals, barely tasting the food, always thinking about the next task. He remembers the weekends spent working, missing out on family picnics and lazy Sunday mornings. He realizes that in his pursuit of more, he'd been missing out on now. This revelation doesn't magically solve all of Michael's problems. The pressures of work and life in the big city don't disappear. But something fundamental has changed. He starts to approach his days differently, with a new awareness of the richness already present in his life. He begins to take lunch breaks away from his desk, savoring each bite and the company of his colleagues. He sets aside time each evening to really listen to his children, discovering worlds of imagination he'd almost forgotten existed. He and his partner start taking walks in the park, rediscovering the simple joy of holding hands and talking without distractions. Michael's story reminds us that sometimes, the thing we're searching for isn't out there waiting to be found. It's already here, woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. It's in the laughter we share with friends, the quiet moments of connection with loved ones, the small victories and simple pleasures we often overlook. So the next time you feel that nagging sense that something is missing, take a moment to pause. Look around you with fresh eyes. Listen to the world with open ears. Feel the life pulsing all around you. You might just discover that what you've been searching for has been there all along, waiting for you to notice it. In the end, perhaps the greatest gift we can give ourselves is the ability to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, to find fullness in the present moment. Because when we do, we might realize that nothing was ever truly missing, we just needed to learn how to see. Have you ever felt like you had everything but were still deeply unhappy? Like your life was a movie where you'd made it to the end credits, but instead of celebrating, you wanted to start over? Let me tell you the story of Michael. Michael was a high achiever. He had the corner office on the 33rd floor with a view that made you want to move in. He had a great job, a loving wife and 2 wonderful kids who thought he was the coolest dad ever. And when he walked into a room, people noticed. He had that presence. But there was something others didn't know. Every morning when Michael woke up, he'd check his phone before saying good morning to his wife. He ran from meeting to meeting, always with a worry in the back of his mind. What if the new product flopped? What if he wasn't promoted? What if his kids thought he was embarrassing? He bought the latest gadgets, took his family on expensive vacations and told himself, maybe happiness is just one achievement away. Still, at night, the emptiness crept in. Lying in bed, Michael would stare at the ceiling. Why did he feel so incomplete? What was he missing? He couldn't put his finger on it. One evening, the whole city block lost power. No Wi-Fi, no TV, no background noise. At first, Michael felt irritated. Then bored. He wandered to the window. Outside, the city was quieter than he'd ever heard. Michael looked up and watched the sky turn from blue to purple to deep red. Suddenly, he remembered. He used to love sunsets as a child, sitting on the porch with his mother, watching the world slow down. He felt a smile tug at his lips. For the first time in years, Michael noticed the sky. As he stood there, something shifted inside him. He realized he hadn't really seen the sky in years. He'd been surrounded by beauty, love, and possibility, but he was too busy looking elsewhere to notice. He laughed, a soft, almost embarrassed laugh. The truth hit him. Nothing was missing. He'd just forgotten how to see. This story isn't just about Michael. It's about all of us. We all look outside for what's inside. We seek peace, but we forget that peace begins with noticing what's here. We crave connection, but forget to look into the eyes of the people we love. We chase happiness, not realizing it's found in the present moment. When we finally remember to see. Maybe your story isn't about a blackout or a skyscraper. Maybe it's a mother in Houston who works 2 jobs. She's tired and feels invisible even to her own family. Or a student in California who gets straight A's but secretly feels empty inside because they believe they be never enough. Or maybe it's you, sitting in traffic, scrolling through your phone, not seeing the way the light glows on your steering wheel, not noticing your own breath. When we're lost, we tend to look everywhere except where we are. We search for meaning in distant places, for happiness in things we don't have, for love in someone else's eyes. But as Buddha taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. It's a simple teaching, but so easy to forget in a world that shouts, "You need more," every single day. So, what can we do? Start small. The next time you feel lost or lacking, pause. Look around you. Notice something ordinary, the warmth of your coffee cup, the laughter of a child, the color of the sky at dusk. Remind yourself, nothing is missing right now. I am already whole. It's not about achieving some perfect state, but about returning to the simple truth. You are alive. You are here, and that is enough. Ask yourself, when was the last time I truly looked at the world with fresh eyes? When was the last time I allowed myself to feel grateful without needing a reason? This practice isn't about making you feel guilty for not being grateful. It's about opening your eyes to the richness of life that's often missed because we're too busy searching for it somewhere else. It's a gentle reminder to come home to the present moment, to find joy in the ordinary and to recognize that happiness, like the sunset, is often right in front of us, waiting for us to look up and see it. I'm about to share with you 3 stories today. The first is a story that was shared with me by a dear friend. The second is a story that lives in the scriptures. And the third is a story that I hope will live inside of you. The first story is a story of a man named Michael. Michael lived a life full of hustle and achievement. He had everything he thought he wanted. Yet something inside him felt deeply numb. One day, while walking through a busy city, Michael stumbled upon a quiet park. He sat down on a bench and closed his eyes. As he did, a profound sense of stillness enveloped him. It was in that moment of stillness that Michael realized he had been chasing external things. External achievements, external pleasures, believing they would bring him happiness. But true happiness, he discovered, came from within. From that day on, Michael dedicated his life to seeking inner peace and helping others find theirs. The second story is the story of the Buddha. Long ago, Siddhartha Gautama was a wealthy young prince shielded from the suffering of the world. However, one day he ventured beyond the palace walls and encountered a sick man, an old man, and a dead man. These encounters shook him. For the first time, he realized the impermanence of life and the inevitability of suffering. Questioning the purpose of life, he renounced his royal life, delving into deep meditation and spiritual practices. After years of seeking, he attained enlightenment and became known as the Buddha, the Awakened One. He dedicated his life to teaching others the path to end suffering and attain enlightenment. Now, the third story, and this is the story that I want to leave with you. This story is about you. You see, we all have a tendency to look outside ourselves for happiness, for peace, for meaning. We chase new jobs, new relationships, new experiences, believing that these things will fill the void within us. But as you've probably experienced, these external things rarely bring lasting fulfillment. So where does that leave us? It leaves us questioning, searching, sometimes even desperate for answers. Let me tell you something. You are not broken. You are not lacking. You do not need to earn your right to peace. Everything you've been searching for is already within you, waiting for you to remember. Now, how do we remember? How do we tap into this inner reservoir of peace? Well, it starts with a shift in perspective. It begins with a recognition that the true source of our happiness and fulfillment lies within. It's not out there waiting to be grabbed. It's already here, residing in the depths of our being. But here's the challenge. We tend to ignore this inner source, don't we? We get so caught up in the external world, in the rat race of life, that we forget to turn inward. We think we're not enough, that we need more, we need something else to make us happy. But the truth is, you are enough. You have always been enough. You just need to recognize it, to accept it, and most importantly, to believe it. Remember Michael sitting on that park bench, having a profound realization that happiness comes from within? Well, that's where you are too, my friend, sitting on your own bench, waiting for your own epiphany. Remember the Buddha, wasn't he once like you, living a comfortable life without any inkling of the suffering that lay ahead? Yes, he was. And yet he turned his pain into purpose, his suffering into enlightenment. That's the path many of us are called to walk, too. Here's a simple practice to help you remember. Close your eyes, take 3 slow, deep breaths. Place your hand over your heart, and say to yourself, nothing is missing. I am already whole. I am already enough. Repeat it again, nothing is missing. I am already whole. I am already enough. Feel the power of those words resonating within you. In that moment of stillness, you are reminded that you are not alone. The path of awakening, of remembering who you truly are, is open to anyone who is willing to pause, to look again, and to remember. Look again at the world with new eyes. See the beauty all around you. The trees swaying in the wind, the birds singing their melodies, the very air you breathe. These are not separate from you. They are a part of you. You are a part of this vast universe. And in that interconnectedness, you find your place, you find your peace. Here's a final message for you. Life's beauty is not hidden. It's just waiting for you to notice. And maybe, just maybe, what you're really looking for, peace, happiness, love, connection, it's been here all along. It's been here all along.